Hello everybody, today I'm going to be unboxing the Let's Resin 4-in-1 electric resin sanding and polishing machine. This machine has where you can hold on to the sander with your hands, which is rechargeable. Then it also has where you can put it in the base and hold it like that and do your pieces like this. I've watched several videos on it, so hopefully I should kind of know what I'm doing before I put it all together. I did open the box to take out the directions, and I did read some of the directions. It looks like it comes with, it's called the main part, the host, the base, the placement platform, and the dust cover. Comes with the adapter, the manual, the charging C cable, then a bunch of sanding discs, grinding wheel, cotton buffing wheel, and I'm going to try to sand this little crayon holder. I started with it with my hands, and it was just not cutting it, so I'm going to try to sand this bottom. Everything else looks pretty good, so we will see. Let's get started. I'm really excited because I do not like to sand my projects. Half the time I just throw them out if they're really bad. So what we got here. C charger. So I read that was for this, to charge this. Let's see. I'm going to turn it on, hit the button, see what happens. That looks like a on and a pause button. Okay, so what I read is there's different levels of sanding, so light, medium, hard, fast. So this goes 1, see if you can see that, 2, 3. So I'm going to keep it at 1. All right, and then I guess you're supposed to just, hit that power button. Cool. And then I think, let's see. So what I read is the red indicator light is showing that you're using the sander as a battery. And then when you plug it in, this side will turn green. So let's plug it in. And see what that does. All right, so I plugged it in. It's on the underneath my table under the floor, so it doesn't reach too well, but I'm just going to try it out, see what happens. I guess it plugs in at the top. So now this just turned green. It's kind of hard to see here. Hopefully you can see that. It's green on this side. Showing you that is now hooked up to the battery. All right, so I'm going to unhook that. Hopefully you can see that. So it's still on, so now it's back to red, saying you're using it as the battery. So this looks like all the sanding discs. So it looks like we got small. Okay, so we got small and large. Looks like, I think it said, okay, so we got 2-inch and 3-inch sander and buffing pads. 2-inch buffer, 2-inch sandpaper, 3-inch buffer, 3-inch sandpaper. All right. So it looks like you can take these off. So let's just see how it works. Oh gosh, that was easy. I was expecting it to be hard. All right. Let's see if I can get back on. Okay, there we go. So I guess you just pull on and off. So for this piece, actually I might use a big one for that piece. So let's put this on back on. But actually, let's take it off for a minute and see what the base does. Okay. So from what I saw is you push this button right here that lifts this up so you can put the sander in here, and there's little grooves right here and there's grooves under here. So I heard you gotta put this on. Okay, there's actually, I didn't see that. There's a little arrow here and there's a little arrow here. It tells you exactly where to line it up at. That's pretty cool. And then I guess you shut this. And this looks like is the dust cover, and this is the platform, placement platform. So I guess you can change this, push this button in, and can slide it back to, that has like 4 notches to how far your piece is. So if you want to do it like this, for this I won't do that because it's not going to reach. This will be more like for small pieces. Let's see, this dust cover may work way back there. There we go. All right, so you kind of lift up. Nice. All right, so that's the dust cover. Well, it does suction cup to the bottom of your table or whatever you have. I think for protection, I would probably want to cover, well, I guess it's not too bad. For the dust, I was thinking about covering this hole. Oops, I guess I didn't have that locked in place. All right. Sweet, so let's try it out. And I'm not a professional sander. I'm gonna let you know that. And all I know is that you're supposed to start with a high grit, which would be the low number. Here's an AI overview on sanding grit breakdown for resin. There is coarse, medium, fine, very fine, / super fine, and ultra fine. This will get you better results if you go in order. Now, the next slide shows you what wet sanding does and how it helps you get a better look for your resin sanding and polishing. I don't know how many passes you actually need to do. So this is a 320. Looks like it has a few different ones. 180s. Looks like it's got like 3 pieces of each one. So 320, 180, 100. And it has the little Velcro on the back. 80, 80, 60. So we're going to start out with the 60. 60. You will need water. So I have a spray bottle. You will definitely need probably some gloves, and you will need a mask. I am just going to use the N95. I know they say you shouldn't just use the N95. You should use the actual respirator. I'm just going to use the N95. So do what you want. Some people don't use anything, but I don't want the particles. So if I, in my nose, so if I do talk a little funny, that's probably why. So let's put this on. All right, cool. I'm excited. So I don't need this on. I do want the dust thing on here. Hopefully it will fit with this big wide maybe I should put that on first. Ooh, goodness. Let's see if it will fit with that on there. It does. Okay. So I can do this, but I think that's going to be in the way. Or I can do it by hand. So let's just take this off. And I can just do it like this. So I'm going to put my mask on. And they say some people that have been using this do like 5 minutes So 5 minutes of the 60, then the 80, then the 100. And then there's also, oh, and I read this is for when you put your glosser. So I have this resin crate, and you put it on there. I don't even know if that would be for regular resin, but this is for resin crate. But whatever you have for your polishing, this would be the polishing wheel. And then I guess this is for, I could have put this on first. This is for so it doesn't kind of bounce around if you're doing it with your hands. So it has a little give, so you can put those on. So I may do that for this. So there's a grinding wheel in here I'm trying to get out for you. Now that would be something very heavy duty to be sanding. I probably won't be using this for anything that I know of. This is literally a rock. So, all right, so let's try this out. Let me get something for under my surface. I think I want to put something here to kind of protect this. All right, get my mask on. And here we go. Oh, eye protection as well. I forgot eye protection. Sorry about that. You definitely need the eye protection. All right, here we go. All right. Ooh. So that's how fast it goes. So I want it on one. Ooh, spray in my face. And then you need lots of water so you don't scratch it. All right, here we go. Yep, definitely want to wear eye goggles and a mask. So I'm going to do this for about 3 minutes. Let me get my timer. And then I'm going to hit the other pad. Oh wow, it's already smooth. Alright, got my timer. And turn it on. In the back, you can do silent or silent over here where it just flashes, or all the way across where it makes a noise. Alright, so I'm going to start it for 3 minutes. Put some more water on it. Alright, I'm going to pause that. So it is very smooth. Let's check this out. So these have flattened. All the little drops. Pretty cool. So we're going to do the next one. I don't really know how long you have to do this, like I said. This is still good, so I'm going to save this for another project. I have a whole shelf over there full of nothing but projects that need to be sanded. A lot of them aren't too bad. I usually don't have to sand, but there are a lot of ridges on the ends of a lot of my projects I've used. So let's get the next grit. So that was the 60. Let's do the 80. I'll make sure it's straight on there. And we'll do another 3 minutes. I will do time lapse on this again. Let's start. Undo the pause. And you may want to cover this up, so it looks like it's getting dirty. I don't like my stuff to get dirty. So I'm just going to kind of cover this with a baby wipe. All right, that is take 2. Oops, I don't want to use this one. I'm going to cover that up, back up here. Let's see. All right, lot smoother. Still have a little bit going on in here. Looks like bubbles, honestly. All right. So that was 80. Let's do 100. Hundred is done. So it's still got the bumps here. So let's try to get another one. Whew. It does splatter a lot. Definitely wear a mask. I forgot to put my gloves on, but I think I'll be all right. All right, so it's a little bit rigid still here, but it is less cloudy than it was when I tried to sand it. I can actually start seeing through it. I wasn't able to see through it before when I tried to hand sand it. So I guess I got to keep going. So this is 2000. See the next one. Actually, for some reason I skipped the 1500. So it looks like I did 60. I did 80. I did 100. And for some reason I skipped to 2000. I guess I was supposed to do this one first. So let's just do the next one next to 2000. Let's see. I think the last one is actually the 5000. This is finer. So this is kind of going to buff it up. So let's try this. So I'm going to do another 3 minutes. All right, so that was the 5000. So it's a lot clearer. I did go sideways and get a lot of this ridges off, so that worked a lot better. There are some still bubbles, so that's something maybe I can cover with resin. I'm not sure, but I'm going to end it here. But it is doing its job. I like the fact that you don't have to hand sand. That's one reason I threw half my pieces away. This is very soaking wet, so I suggest putting something down on here. It doesn't show that in any video that I see. You take that off and lift it up, and there you go. It looks like it has battery indicator light at the top from what I read. At the top there are 3 dots, so that tells me how much battery I have left. So the battery lasted longer than I expected for doing that for over 20 minutes. So that's pretty good. Like I said, you can still plug it in if you want and probably make it last a lot longer, obviously. I really like it. I do need to practice. Like I said, I am not a professional sander. I need some work. But I can see through it a lot better than I could when I started. You can actually see through it. I couldn't see through it before when I did it by hand. And this is what it did to my glasses. So I would recommend making sure you have glasses on and a mask on. If you see all the particles, use eye protection and face protection. Thank you again for watching and have a blessed day.